All right, everybody, we're back.
What's up?
As you may know or may not know, if you watched the last video we posted up, the little intro to our next series, we are doing Pee-Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm.
Not Paul Rubin, but Pee-Wee Herman.
Yeah.
We're doing stage shows. We're going to do the Christmas show. We're going to try to find his 2011 Broadway show that came out in 2011, and then we're going to do his 3 movies. So what we started with, as you know, is Pee-Wee Herman Show, the 1981 HBO special from Sunset Strip's Roxy Theater. And I had seen it before. Jonathan had not. Go. Your impressions of it.
I liked it. It was weird. It was odd. It was disconjoined. It seemed to really have no rhythm or rhyme or meaning at all. And I understand that is in some ways what Pee-wee's Playhouse was like. I don't remember it as well. And that's the thing that that's gonna be kind of fun for this whole series, is that Pee-Wee Herman was never really my thing as much. Michael loved it. I know he did. I've seen Big Top Pee-Wee. I've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I remember watching the show, kind of, but I didn't watch it a lot. So, and I haven't seen either one of the movies in years and years and years and years. So I don't remember a lot about Pee-Wee Herman and his style. But I like this. It was just odd enough to keep me entertained. It was kind of frantic and frenetic energy, and I really liked that. And it was a little bit mature, very subtle, risque type stuff.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Not in your face.
Some of it wasn't so subtle.
Yeah.
But
like the mirror shoes.
Yeah, the mirror shoes. And that part cracked me up. As soon as she said, "I'm not wearing any underwear," and they're like, "Oh," and they just took it off. Like that's why you're doing it. I was like, were you hoping to catch a glimpse of panties?
Yeah,
not pussy.
I think they were trying to. I think they wanted to see underwear because they're 8-year-old children.
Yeah, it's like they didn't get it, and it made sense.
Yeah,
you know.
And that was the adult humor.
Yeah, and that was the whole joke, you know, and it was hilarious to me. But yeah,
that's what of course a lot of his stuff is it's adult humor, but it's innocent because an 8-year-old doesn't think at the time. You know, an 8-year-old didn't think in those ways. So they're saying something that can be completely innocent that can be construed as something adult and risque.
Yeah.
Like when Zombie got his hands, he's like, "Oh, it's great. There's been something I wouldn't want to do for a long time."
And then we find out that all it is he's filing his nails.
Yeah.
When they open the box up later, but you don't know that.
You still think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little graphic. That was a little too graphic.
Maybe. Yeah, it's very much. He's just. His character is a man-child. You know.
And
it's innocence wrapped in adult.
And I think he got such a bad rap because of what happened to him, which probably we may go in and like kind of just re-talk about this later on, but
I think we should. I think we should just save it for an individual one.
Okay, we'll save it for an individual one, but he got a bad rap and it wasn't deserved. So
very much not deserved.
But some of the highlights I think from this, besides the fact that it's just, I've found it hilarious even after watching it all this time. Captain Carl, I think, was the highlight of it, in my opinion. Just because this was Phil Hartman before he was on Saturday Night Live,
Mhm.
So when he was still like a up and coming, and all these people that were all part of the Groundlings comedy troupe.
Yeah.
So,
But he was the only. It seems that he was the only one that went on to do bigger things.
mhm.
And the Groundlings was a big improv group that created a lot of comedians. You know, a lot of people went from there to Saturday Night Live or Kids in the Hall, Whitest Kids You Know type thing. You know, I mean, everybody was in Groundlings, and it started a lot of careers.
It did, but they just didn't get the notoriety, the notoriety that troops like Studio City did.
Mm-hmm. But
I think that's the right name.
Studio City was another big one.
Yes, but I think they didn't get. I mean, they were huge and at the right, but it was kind of like they were on the West Coast. You know, Studio City was on the East Coast of Chicago or something. It was it was on the East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course Kids in the Hall. The Kids in the Hall group was in Canada,
Yeah.
but
And Whitest Kids You Know were also based out of Canada, I believe. But yeah, it was very interesting to see it as a stage show. I liked it.
mhm.
I liked watching it that way, and to be honest, I might need to watch this again at some point because I'm sure that I missed some stuff because I was watching it from a technical aspect of putting something on stage, you know. Because we both did a lot of drama. I did a lot of tech theater. I didn't do the acting side as much.
I was on stage for theater. He was backstage.
I
So
did
so he looks at it more from a technical standpoint than I do.
I did a lot of backstage work, props, building sets, stuff like that. And I was looking at it from that standpoint. And I'm like trying to see how everything's set up, like the door that goes outside. I'm like seeing how the flats are set up, and I'm like just trying to look and see how they put the stage together. And that was fascinating to me because it was a very well constructed set, you know.
And there's so many hidden areas,
Mm-hmm.
specifically with Zombie,
Yeah.
because they had to move. They moved Zombie's box, and they had to have another hole that you never even saw
On the bed.
on the
Yeah.
bed. Yes.
Yeah. So it was great to see that from that standpoint and to get the humor, But I'm like, I know I missed some stuff because I was trying to look and be like, okay, so where is everything set up? How did they build this?
Mm-hmm. But it was very, very high energy. But it was just like you said, it was all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Very frantic, very frenetic. But that worked, that was his character.
Mm-hmm.
He had the energy of a child.
In the body of a man.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to look back on this, which is now 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell, it's 35 years old. And see Paul Rubin, Pee-Wee Herman as like so young. When we just saw him today on Gotham as an older man,
Mm-hmm.
as an old man. Well, not an old man, but he's in his 50s.
As
an actual adult.
As a man that is supposed to be the father of a 31-year-old son,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm curious as to how old he was when this came out. Probably early 20s,
Yeah, most likely because he's in his mid-50s now. So.
Yeah, so.
So. But this is just the beginning of things to come. We hope to spin this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more videos. I hope so.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of Pee-Wee Herman, or if you're just a fan of theater, give this a shot. I think you can probably pick this up for maybe $10 max.
If you can find it.
So.
Somewhere.
But yeah, check this out because, or if you're a fan of Pee-Wee Herman and you haven't seen this yet, or if you haven't seen, this yet and you want like to go back to like where the roots of the character came from. It's probably going to be your best bet because you probably can't find anything from the actual Groundlings. The actual Groundlings acts.
Can we talk for a second because I forgot until just now?
Uh-huh.
What the hell was that PSA thing? That was the funniest yet stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Mr. Bungles?
What the fuck was that? Like, that was the thing out of this whole show that I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, I literally had to pause it to go get some more coffee because it was putting me to sleep.
Well, the cartoon made sense because they had the King of Cartoons on Pee-wee's Playhouse, and he always showed a cartoon, and it was always in that old 50s animation style.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, that just...
I mean, it was neat because... But it
was very retro.
It was exhausting because every time I thought that they were going to get to the point, they're like, yes, this kid is very polite and gets smiled at. And like, it's like they're building up and up and up and then nothing. And then they build up, nothing, nothing. And there was no payoff.
Mm-mm.
There was no payoff whatsoever. It just like ended. I'm like, why did you just take 5 minutes off my life?
Well, you figure he probably needed a break.
Yeah, but oh man,
but yeah, it was. I will see if I can find the Mr. Bungalow thing on YouTube, and if I can find it, I will put a link into the bottom of it, in the description, so you know what's going on if you haven't seen this already.
You've got to see this.
It's like straight out of like you expected it like to be like a 50s film strip.
Yeah, it literally looked like a PSA that they would show in an elementary school in the 50s
Mm-hmm.
or 60s. I mean, that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. But it was like, yeah, I looked over at Jonathan just like, and so yeah, but I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so funny because
it was funny because it was so stupid and inane and it was pointless.
Mm-hmm.
It fit with the rest of the show, but at the same time I'm like, can I get like a punchline or some sort of payoff?
Well, the payoff was after it was over, Pee-wee saying, "Geez, what do you think about the size of that piece of cake?" Which is just made no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you like it?
I did like it.
Okay.
I did like it.
Because I was a little concerned because it was like, okay, this is not really his style of comedy, and I don't know if he's gonna like this, but
I liked the energy. I liked the randomness of it. I liked the fact that nothing was fitting together.
How about when they had the foreign mail from other countries?
That was weird. Yeah. You know, in something like this, the comedy made sense, even though it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm watching like an actual like movie, I want there to be some sort of flow with the comedy. But something like this, I appreciated the randomness of it, the fact that none of it fit together. It was all in jokes. I mean, yeah,
a lot of people are not going to get the humor, some of the jokes in this, because it's all based on culture from 1981.
Mm-hmm. But
like the Israeli army.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm 9 years old and I've been in the army for 2 years.
Yeah. You know, but I appreciated it for what it was. I did find it funny. So
there you go.
There's high hopes that I'll enjoy the rest of it.
So, thanks for watching. And be on the lookout for more Pee-Wee Herman stuff. Be on the lookout for just all kinds of stuff that we got coming up. But this will be focusing us for the next couple of months. This will be our focus.
Yes.
So thanks for watching. Blessed be. Bye-bye.